My girlfriend said, "Your mother or me, choose now," during Sunday dinner. I said, "That's easy." Then I stood up, helped my mother with her coat, and we left for dessert elsewhere. She thought I was bluffing until Monday when the moving truck arrived. I, 29 male, had been with Jenna, 27, for 2 years. We'd been living together in my apartment for the last 8 months. Everything seemed fine until she started making comments about my mom, Carol, 58. For context, my dad passed away 3 years ago. Mom lives alone about 20 minutes away. We have Sunday dinner together twice a month, just her and me, sometimes my sister when she's in town. It's literally 4 hours a month. That's it. Jenna knew this when we started dating. She even came to a few dinners early on, said she loved how close we were as a family. That changed about 6 months ago. It started small. "Do we really need to go every other Sunday?" Then, "Your mom's kind of needy, don't you think?" Then, "It's weird how much you prioritize her." I explained that mom wasn't needy. She had her own life, friends, book club, volunteer work. These dinners were just our tradition. Jenna seemed to accept it. Last Sunday was mom's birthday. I'd made reservations at her favorite Italian place. Jenna knew about this for weeks. Morning of, she announces she's coming too. Cool, no problem. We're halfway through our appetizers when Jenna starts. "Carol, don't you think it's time to let go a little?" He's almost 30. Mom, confused. "Let go of what, dear? This whole Sunday dinner thing. It's kind of much." I tried to redirect the conversation, but Jenna was on a mission. I mean, healthy boundaries are important. You can't expect him to prioritize you forever. Mom set down her fork. "I don't expect anything. These dinners are as much for him as they are for me." "Sure they are," Jenna said, rolling her eyes. That's when she turned to me and dropped the bomb. "Your mother or me? Choose. Now." The entire restaurant seemed to go quiet. The couple at the next table was straight up staring. I looked at her for maybe 3 seconds. "That's easy." I stood up, walked around to Mom's chair, and helped her with her coat. "Wait, what?" Jenna's voice went up 3 octaves. "You asked me to choose. I chose. Mom, there's a great gelato place down the street." Jenna started crying. "You're not serious. You're not actually leaving." Check's on the table. I already paid when I went to the bathroom earlier, figured something might happen tonight. "You prepaid? You knew I was going to." "No, I thought you might behave yourself for once. But I like to be prepared." Mom and I left. Behind us, Jenna was shrieking about manipulation and emotional incest and how I'd regret this. The last thing I heard was her telling the waiter we weren't done with our meal yet. Got home at 10 p.m. to 63 missed calls and so many texts, my phone crashed twice. Small sample, that was a cute stunt. "When are you coming back? Your mom probably loved that performance. I'm throwing your PlayStation in the dumpster. Baby, please let's talk." You're seriously doing this over one comment? Check your priorities. Your mom won't satisfy you in bed. That was disgusting. Do you want to sleep with your mother? I'm sorry, okay? Come home. If you're not back by midnight, I'm calling the cops. I texted back once. Moving truck will be there at 9 a.m. Monday. Please don't be home. She thought I was bluffing. Update 1. Monday morning came. My buddy Dimitri owns a moving company, gave me the friend rate. I took a personal day from work. Showed up at 8:45 a.m. with 3 movers and boxes. Jenna was there. Of course she was, wearing my college hoodie and crying. "Baby, you're not thinking clearly. One fight doesn't mean we break up. You gave me an ultimatum between you and my mother, at her birthday dinner. That's not one fight." I was making a point. Point received. Now please move. I need to get to my dresser. She tried to block the movers. This is my home too. Your name's not on the lease. You've been living here as my guest. Legally, you have no claim here. That's when she called in reinforcements. Her mom, Patricia, showed up within 20 minutes. Must have been speed racing from across town. Patricia walked in like she owned the place. What is this nonsense? You don't break up over a miscommunication. It wasn't a miscommunication. Jenna told me to choose between her and my mother. All women say things like that. It's testing boundaries. You failed the test. No, I passed. I don't do tests. I don't do ultimatums, and I definitely don't let anyone disrespect my mother at her birthday dinner. Patricia tried a different angle. Jenna loves you. She's been planning your future together. Yeah, a future where I abandon my family. Hard pass. While they argued with me, the movers kept working. Dimitri's guys were pros. They had half the apartment packed in 30 minutes. Then Jenna pulled her ace card. "I'm pregnant." Everyone stopped. The movers looked at me. I looked at her. "No, you're not." "How would you know?" "Because you had your period last week. You sent me to buy tampons on Wednesday. The receipt's probably still in my car." The movers actually snickered. One guy muttered "brutal" under his breath. Patricia's face went red. "Jenna Marie, Mom, you lied about being pregnant? I was trying to save our relationship." Even Patricia looked disgusted. She left without another word. By noon, all my stuff was in the truck. I left the furniture we bought together, took only what was mine. Fair's fair. Jenna made one last attempt. "Where are you even going to go? Your mommy's house?" "Nope. Got a storage unit for most of this, and I'm crashing with Dimitri for a few weeks while I apartment hunt. Already got 3 viewings lined up." "This is insane. You're really ending 2 years over this?" "You ended it when you made me choose. I just followed through." As we drove away, she was standing in the doorway, still wearing my hoodie, looking absolutely shook that I actually went through with it. Update 2: Tuesday through Thursday was relatively quiet. Jenna kept texting, cycling between apologizing, insulting me, begging, and threatening. I didn't respond to any of it. Friday afternoon, she showed up at my workplace. I'm an accountant at a mid-size firm. Pretty drama-free environment usually. Not that day. Reception called up, "There's a Jenna here? Says it's an emergency?" I came down to find her in the lobby with a box of everything I'd ever given her, which she proceeded to dump on the floor. Every movie ticket, every love note, every stupid gift. She was pulling stuff out dramatically. "This teddy bear from the fair. These earrings you got me for Christmas." My coworkers were gathering. Janet from HR looked concerned. "Jenna, you need to leave. Not until you admit what you're doing is insane." "Security's on their way. You'd call security on me? After everything? After you showed up at my job to throw a tantrum? Yes." She grabbed the teddy bear and ripped its head off. Cotton stuffing went everywhere. "That's what you did to my heart." Security arrived. 2 guys who looked like they were trying not to laugh. "Ma'am, we need you to leave. This is a private conversation with my boyfriend." "Ex," I corrected. She threw the headless bear at me. Security escorted her out while she screamed about true love and maternal fixation. Janet pulled me aside after. "You okay? That was intense." "Yeah, I'm good. Sorry about the mess." "Don't worry about it, but maybe consider a restraining order?" I thought about it. Decided to wait and see if she'd calm down. Narrator. She did not calm down. Update 3: Saturday morning. I'm at Dimitri's place, making breakfast. His phone rings. It's his girlfriend. "Why is some girl named Jenna messaging me on Instagram saying you're harboring a domestic abuser?" "Yeah." She found Dimitri through my social media, then found his girlfriend, and sent her a whole essay about how I was psychologically abusive and Dimitri was enabling me. Dimitri's girlfriend Keiko knew the whole story, thought it was hilarious. She responded to Jenna with clown emojis. Jenna blocked her. But Jenna wasn't done with the parrot strategy. Sunday, Mom calls me. "Honey, Patricia is here." I drove over immediately. Found Patricia in Mom's living room, drinking tea, explaining how I was having a crisis and needed intervention. "He's clearly unable to form healthy adult relationships," Patricia was saying when I walked in. "His attachment to you is preventing him from committing to Jenna." Mom was sitting there, politely nodding, letting Patricia talk. "Are you done?" Mom asked Patricia when she finally paused for breath. "I'm trying to help." "No, you're trying to manipulate me into forcing my son back into a relationship with your daughter. Let me be very clear. Any woman who makes my son choose between us isn't worthy of him. I raised him to have standards. Apparently he's using them." Patricia spluttered. "Jenna made one mistake." "It wasn't a mistake," I said. "It was a calculated ultimatum that backfired." "She didn't mean it." Mom stood up. "Then she shouldn't have said it. At my birthday dinner. In public. Now I think it's time for you to leave." Patricia tried one more angle. "This will destroy Jenna. She loves him." "No," Mom said quietly. "She loves controlling him. There's a difference." Patricia left, but not before telling me I was ruining the best thing that ever happened to me. That night, Jenna posted on social media about how some men never grow up, always choosing mommy over real love. She tagged me. I didn't respond. but my sister did. Weird way to admit you tried to isolate someone from their family, but okay. Jenna's friends piled on my sister. My sister's friends piled on them. It turned into a whole thing. I just muted the notifications and went apartment hunting. Update 4. Found an apartment. Nice 1-bedroom, actually closer to work. Lease signed Tuesday, moving in Saturday. Wednesday, Jenna texts from a new number. Heard you got a place. That was fast. Already had it lined up? I didn't respond. Thursday, I drive by sometimes. Your car's never at Dimitri's at night. Who is she? Still didn't respond. Friday, I know you're seeing someone. Just admit it. Finally texted back. I'm at my mom's house playing Scrabble. She's destroying me with a 7-letter word. Happy? You're actually at your mom's? On a Friday night? Yes. Living my best life, please stop texting. This is pathetic. Yet you're the one stalking me. Interesting. She stopped texting for about an hour. Then, I'm coming over. To my mom's house? Bold strategy. She actually showed up. Mom and I watched through the window as she sat in her car outside for 20 minutes, probably working up the nerve. Finally, she got out and rang the doorbell. Mom answered. Jenna, what a surprise. I need to talk to him. He doesn't want to talk to you. That's for him to say. I appeared behind Mom. I don't want to talk to you. 5 minutes. No. You owe me closure. I owe you nothing. You made an ultimatum. I made a choice. We're closed. She tried to push past Mom. Bad move. Mom might be 58, but she does yoga and Pilates. She body blocked Jenna like a pro. Young lady, remove yourself from my property before I call the police. This is insane. You people are insane. And yet you're the one showing up uninvited to harass us. Who's really insane here? Jenna stomped back to her car, slammed the door, and peeled out. Mom and I went back to Scrabble. She played Quincy on a triple word score. 401 points. Good riddance to that one, she said, marking her score. Final update. Moving day for the new apartment. Dimitri and his crew helping again. We're loading the truck when Jenna appears with 2 suitcases. I'm moving in with you. Everyone stopped. Dimitri actually laughed out loud. No, you're not. You can't just abandon me. I gave you 2 years of my life. And I gave you the same 2 years. We're even. I turned down other guys for you. Congratulations on being in a monogamous relationship? She set the suitcases down like she was claiming territory. I'm not leaving. Cool, Dimitri, call the cops, please. You wouldn't. Dimitri was already dialing. Jenna panicked. Wait, I'll tell everyone about your thing. What thing? I genuinely don't. That you cry during Pixar movies. Dimitri's crew burst out laughing. One guy said, bro, everyone cries during Yupa. She was spiraling. Fine. I'll tell everyone you lasted 2 minutes our first time. It was my first time ever. What's your excuse for the other times? The movers were dying. Even Dimitri was wheezing. You're humiliating me. You're humiliating yourself. I'm just moving furniture. The cops arrived. Same 2 officers, amazingly. Domestic dispute? The older one asked, already looking tired. She's trying to move into my new apartment against my will. He's abandoning me. Jenna wailed. The cop looked at me. Is this your girlfriend? Ex-girlfriend. We broke up 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks and she's trying to move in with you? She's dedicated, I said. The cop turned to Jenna. Ma'am, you can't force someone to live with you. But I love him. That's not how that works. They made her leave. She took her suitcases, crying about wasted time and lost love. The younger cop waited until she drove off, then said, dude, good call on breaking up. The move went smoothly after that. Got everything into the new place, ordered pizza for the crew, and spent my first night in peaceful silence. Life's good. The new apartment is perfect. Work's been understanding about the whole lobby incident. Mom and I still have our dinners, now with the added entertainment of recounting this whole saga. Heard through mutual friends that Jenna's been telling everyone I'm in an emotionally incestuous relationship with my mother. Also heard she's already dating someone new. A guy from her gym who apparently doesn't talk to his family at all. Perfect match. Patricia left Mom a voicemail apologizing for the misunderstanding and suggesting maybe we could all have dinner sometime to move forward. Mom deleted it without responding. My sister made me a cake that said, chose correctly on it. We ate it at Sunday dinner. Mom laughed so hard she cried. Oh, and the best part? Jenna's new boyfriend? His mom is apparently even more involved in his life than mine is. She just doesn't know it yet because they haven't been dating long enough. According to my friend who goes to the same gym, his mom calls him 6 times a day and has his location tracked on her phone. Karma's beautiful sometimes. To anyone facing ultimatums, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. When they make you choose between them and your family, the choice is already made. They're telling you they're not family material. And Jenna, since I know you're reading this, hi to your friend Tara who definitely sent you the link. Mom says hi. We're having tiramisu at Sunday dinner this week. Your favorite. We'll think of you while we're not eating it with you. Peace out. Edit. Stop asking for my mom's Scrabble strategies. She says it's classified. Edit 2. To everyone saying I'm too close to my mom, we have dinner twice a month. If that's too much for you, examine your own family relationships. Edit 3. Jenna made a TikTok about toxic mama's boys. It has 12 views. One comment says, sounds like you're the toxic one, sis. Even the algorithm said nope. My girlfriend said, you're too broke to take me on real vacations. I replied, you're right. Then I spent our vacation fund on stock trading courses. 2 years later, when I bought a Tesla in cash, her attitude about broke suddenly changed. I, 29 male, guess I should have seen the writing on the wall. Monica, 27, and I had been together for 3 years, living together for 1. I worked as an IT support specialist making decent money, around $52,000 a year. Not rich, but comfortable enough for a single guy in a mid-sized city. The problem started last summer. Monica's coworker Vanessa came back from a 2-week trip to Bali with her boyfriend. Suddenly, our weekend camping trips weren't enough anymore. Look at these pictures, Monica said, shoving her phone in my face for the 100th time. Private villas, infinity pools, sunset dinners on the beach. That's what real couples do, Brian. We went to the coast last month, I reminded her. Had a great time at that Airbnb. She rolled her eyes. A cabin with no AC is not a vacation. It's poverty tourism. That stung. I'd saved for 3 months for that trip. The complaints escalated. Every time someone on her Instagram posted vacation photos, I'd hear about it. Greece, Dubai, Maldives. Apparently everyone was living their best life except us. Maybe we could save up for something bigger next year, I suggested one evening. Save up? She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. Brian, you're 29. If you have to save up for a vacation, you're doing something wrong with your life. I make decent money. You're too broke to take me on real vacations, she interrupted. I'm tired of pretending that camping and road trips are romantic. They're what poor people do when they can't afford actual travel. I stared at her for a long moment. You're right. She blinked, surprised. What? You're absolutely right. I am too broke for the kind of vacations you want. Victory flashed in her eyes. So you'll figure something out? Maybe ask for a raise or get a second job? Something like that, I said quietly. What Monica didn't know was that I'd been putting aside $200 a month into what I called our future vacation fund. Had about $2,400 saved up, planning to surprise her with a week in Costa Rica for our anniversary. That night, I made a different choice. Update 1. The next morning, I did something Monica would have called stupid poor people stuff. I took that $2,400 and enrolled in an online trading course and market analysis program. Cost me $1,800 for the premium package. Rest went into my first trading account. Monica noticed the vacation fund was gone from our budget spreadsheet. Where'd the vacation money go? She demanded. Invested it, I said. In what? Crypto. Please tell me you didn't fall for some Bitcoin scam. Education, I replied. Learning about markets. She laughed so hard she actually snorted. You spent our vacation money on some online course? What are you, 12? Those are all scams, Brian. Maybe, I shrugged. I can't believe you're this dumb, she said. My sister's boyfriend just took her to Turks and Caicos. Meanwhile, mine is throwing money at get-rich-quick schemes. It's not get-rich-quick, it's learning a skill. Whatever helps you sleep at night, broke boy. That became her new nickname for me. Broke boy. She'd say it jokingly in front of friends, family, everyone. Oh, Brian can't come to the wine tasting. It's not in broke boy's budget. Maybe next year we can afford it if broke boy's investment education pays off, accompanied by air quotes and eye rolls. I studied every night after work. Monica would be on the couch, scrolling through travel influencers, while I was at the kitchen table with charts, indicators, and risk management strategies. She'd make snide comments about me playing pretend investor, but I just kept focusing. Started paper trading first, made every mistake possible with fake money. Lost theoretical thousands before I found my rhythm. Monica had no idea I was actually getting good at this. "My mom thinks you're depressed," she announced one evening. "Sitting at that computer all night, obsessed with your little charts. It's sad." "I'm fine." She also thinks I should date someone more ambitious, like Derek. Derek was her CrossFit trainer. "Of course. Maybe you should," I said, not looking up from my screens. She huffed and went to bed angry. This was becoming our routine. Update 2. By month 6, I'd turned my initial $600 trading capital into $4,000. Not life-changing, but I was consistently profitable. More importantly, I understood the market now. Risk management, position sizing, reading sentiment, it all clicked. Monica's contempt, meanwhile, had evolved into something uglier. "Stephanie's engaged," she announced, showing me the ring on Instagram. "Destination wedding in Cabo. Know what her fiancé does? Real estate. Makes real money, not whatever pretend investing you're doing." I glanced at the ring. "Nice. That's all? Nice? Do you even care that all my friends are getting married and traveling while I'm stuck here?" "You're not stuck. You can leave anytime." "Oh please, where would you be without me? I basically manage your entire social life." That was rich, considering her managing consisted of declining invites because the venues weren't Instagram-worthy enough. Month 8 brought the ultimatum. "Brian, I need to know where this is going," she said over dinner. "I'm 27. I can't waste my prime years with someone who thinks success is making a few $100s on Robinhood. It's not Robinhood, it's... I don't care. Are you going to be a real adult and get a better job? Or are you going to keep playing day trader in your spare time? I'm happy with my job. Then I'm done waiting. Either book us a real vacation by next month, minimum 1 week, somewhere tropical, 5-star hotel, or I'm moving back to my mom's." "That would be about $5,000, I said. "So? Use a credit card like a normal person. Everyone has debt." "I'm not going into debt for a vacation." She stood up, tears of frustration in her eyes. "You're pathetic, you know that? Absolutely pathetic. I've given you 3 years of my life and you can't even give me 1 week in paradise. I'm sorry you feel that way." "Sorry?" She grabbed her purse. "I'm staying at Vanessa's tonight. Think about what you want, Brian. Me, or your sad little fantasy of being the next Warren Buffett." After she left, I checked my portfolio, up another $800 that day on an NVDA swing trade. Total account was now sitting at $12,000. Not Warren Buffett money, but not bad for a broke boy with a sad little fantasy. Update 3. Monica came back 2 days later with Derek. Yeah, the CrossFit trainer. They waited in the parking lot while she packed her stuff. "Really? You brought him here?" I asked. "I needed someone with a truck," she said, not meeting my eyes. "And emotional support." "Emotional support, right?" She paused at the door with the last box. "You did this to yourself, Brian. I gave you so many chances." "To do what? Spend money I don't have to impress people I don't know? To be a real man who provides. Derek's taking me to Scottsdale next weekend, just because." "Good for Derek." She started to leave, then turned back. "You know what the saddest part is? You actually think you're going to get rich sitting at that computer. You're going to be alone, 40 years old, still in this crappy apartment, still pretending you're some kind of trader." "Maybe," I said. "Guess we'll see." Derek honked the horn. Subtle. "Bye, Brian. Enjoy your charts." After they left, I sat at my computer and did what I always did. Analyze the market. It was Thursday night, and I had identified a potential setup on SPY options for Friday. Risk $500 to potentially make $2,000. I took the trade. Update 4. The SPY trade worked. So did the next one, and the one after that. Not all of them. I still lost about 40% of my trades. But my wins were bigger than my losses, and that's all that matters in this game. A year after Monica left, my account hit $47,000. I kept my IT job. Why quit? It was steady income, good benefits, and gave me capital to trade with. Started maximizing my 401k too. Monica always said that was boring old people stuff. Funny thing about learning to trade, it teaches you discipline in other areas too. I stopped eating out, cut unnecessary subscriptions, bought a used bike instead of financing a car. Every dollar saved was potential trading capital. Bro, you've changed, my buddy Tony said at a barbecue. You're like focused now. Just figured some stuff out. Monica still with that gym guy? Don't know, don't care. That was mostly true. She'd blocked me on everything except LinkedIn. Probably forgot about that one. Through mutual friends, I heard Derek wasn't quite the provider she'd hoped. Apparently, taking her to Scottsdale meant staying at his buddy's apartment and splitting meals. But the real kicker came month 13. I'd been tracking this biotech company, watching it form a beautiful cup and handle pattern. Threw $10K at it with a tight stop loss. It ran 200%. In 3 days, that $10K turned into $30. My account was now over $70, more than my annual salary. That weekend, I did something I'd wanted to do for years. Walked into the Tesla showroom and configured a Model 3. Long range, white interior, the whole deal. Will you be financing? The sales guy asked. Nope, paying cash. Writing that check for $54,000 felt surreal, but I'd earned every penny of it, staring at charts while Monica called me pathetic. Update 5. 2 weeks after getting the Tesla, I was at Whole Foods when I heard it. Brian? I turned. Monica stood there with a basket of organic vegetables, looking exactly the same except for some new gym-sculpted muscles. No Derek in sight. Her eyes went straight to my car keys with the Tesla logo. Hey Monica. Did you get a new car? Yeah, picked it up recently. A Tesla? Her voice pitched up. Did you get a promotion or something? Nope, same job. Then how? Remember those charts I was always staring at? Turns out they weren't so useless. She laughed nervously. Wait, you actually made money from that? Some? How much is some? Enough. She glanced at my basket. Just normal groceries, nothing fancy. Still living like I made $52 a year because lifestyle inflation is how you go broke. We should catch up sometime, she said suddenly. Get coffee? I'd love to hear about your trading thing. I'm pretty busy these days. Come on, Brian. We were together 3 years. We can be friends, right? What happened to Derek? Her face tightened. That didn't work out. He was not who I thought. Sorry to hear that. Actually, I owe you an apology, she said, stepping closer. I was harsh about the money stuff. I was just frustrated, you know? Watching everyone else living these amazing lives. And now? Now I realize there's more important things than fancy vacations. I almost laughed. Like what? Like someone stable, someone smart, someone who actually has their life together. She touched my arm. I miss us, Brian. We were good together, weren't we? We were something. I'm free Saturday night, maybe dinner, that new sushi place downtown, the one that's $200 a person? She smiled. I mean, you can afford it now, right? There it was. The moment I'd fantasized about during those long nights studying candlestick patterns. Monica wanting me back, seeing my success, realizing she'd made a mistake. I can afford it, I said, but I'm not interested. Her smile faltered. You're seeing someone? No, just not interested in going backward. Backward? Brian, I'm trying to apologize here. No, you're trying to get back with me now that I have money. There's a difference. Her face flushed red. I'm not that shallow. Monica, you literally called me broke boy for 8 months. You brought your new boyfriend to move your stuff out. You said I'd die alone at 40, still pretending to be a traitor. I was angry. People say things when they're angry. Yeah, they do. They say what they really think. She shifted tactics, eyes tearing up. I made a mistake, okay? I admit it. I should have been more supportive, but we had 3 good years, Brian. Doesn't that count for something? It counts for a lesson learned. Which is, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. I started to walk away. You're gonna regret this, she called after me. You think you're some big shot now because you have a Tesla? You're still the same boring IT guy who'd rather stare at screens than live life. I turned back. You're right. I am the same guy. That's the point. I was good enough then, and you couldn't see it. Having money didn't change who I am. It just revealed who you are. Whatever. Enjoy your lonely money, Brian. I will, actually. Update 6. That encounter was 3 months ago. Since then, some interesting things have happened. First, Monica apparently went nuclear on social media. According to Tony, who still follows her, she posted a long rant about fake nice guys who get lucky once and think they're Gordon Gekko. Didn't use my name, but everyone knew. Her mom even called me. Yeah, that was weird. Brian, honey, I heard you're doing very well for yourself. I'm doing okay, Mrs. Patterson. Monica's just devastated about how things ended. She really does care about you. I'm sure she does. Maybe you could give her another chance. She's learned her lesson. What lesson would that be? Not to judge people so quickly. With respect, Mrs. Patterson, she judged me for 3 years. That's not quickly. She was young, and you have to admit, you weren't very ambitious back then. I was learning a skill that now pays more than my job. That's literally the definition of ambitious. But you didn't tell her what you were doing. I told her every day. She called it playing pretend investor. She laughed at me. You all did. Silence. Well, I think you're being very unforgiving. Probably. Take care, Mrs. Patterson. The second interesting thing? Derek reached out on Instagram. I kid you not, this dude DM'd me asking for trading tips, said he heard I was killing it in the market and wanted to learn. Offered to train me for free in exchange. I left him on read. But the best part? Remember Vanessa, Monica's friend who went to Bali? She texted me last week. Hey Brian, random question, but Monica mentioned you're into investing now? I've got some money saved and no idea what to do with it. Would you mind chatting sometime? Happy to buy lunch. I politely declined. These people only see value in you when you have something they want. Final update. It's been 2 years since that night. Monica told me I was too broke for real vacations. My portfolio is now at $130,000. Still driving the same Tesla, still living in the same apartment, though I could afford better, still working the same IT job. Why? Because I learned something important. Money doesn't fix who you are. It just amplifies it. Monica was materialistic and shallow when I was making $52. Having money wouldn't have changed that. It would have just made her a materialistic and shallow person with nicer Instagram posts. I've started dating again. Met a woman named Janet at a bookstore. She's a teacher, makes less than I did when Monica called me broke. But she's funny, kind, and when I told her I trade stocks, her response was cool. I do crossword puzzles. Everyone needs a hobby. We went camping last weekend. Stayed in a cabin with no AC. She said it was perfect. Monica, from what I hear through the grapevine, is dating some finance guy now. Good for her. Hope she gets all the infinity pools and sunset dinners she ever wanted. Me? I'm sitting here on a random Thursday night, watching futures, planning my next trade. My sad little fantasy turned into a 6-figure portfolio. My broke boy mentality taught me discipline that changed my life. Oh, and that Costa Rica trip I was planning to surprise Monica with? I ended up going alone last year. Stayed in hostels, ate at local spots, took public transportation. Cost me $800 total for 10 days. Best vacation I ever had. Not because it was cheap, but because I finally understood something. The problem was never that I was too broke for real vacations. The problem was that I was with someone who thought my worth was measured by how much I could spend on her. Turns out, the best investment I ever made wasn't learning to trade. It was letting Monica leave. She was right about one thing, though. I am still the same guy staring at screens instead of living life. Difference is, now I can afford any life I want. I just choose this one. To anyone reading this who's being called broke by someone who supposedly loves you, you're not broke. You're just with the wrong person. Your value isn't in your bank account. And sometimes the best trade you can make is cutting your losses and moving on. Trust me, the returns are worth it.